welcome to Orion Outreach. I'm Allison Bicknell. I have my guest today with me, Maggie Varney, and she is the founder and CEO of Wigs for Kids. Welcome.
Hi, Allison. Thank you for having us in here today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming in. So let's just get started here. So tell me, where did the vision come from for Wigs for Kids?
I've had the honor and privilege of serving adult patients in our community. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I'm certified to work with adult patients, and I go into local cancer centers and hospitals and I teach them how to deal with the appearance-related side effects of treatment. When they're going through something like this, a cancer experience, they don't always know how to deal with hair loss and their makeup and their skin care. And so I've been doing that and volunteering for a program for about 35 years. And I had a 16-year-old child, young lady, come to my class, and I thought she was there to support the mom, but the mom was actually there for her. And realized that she was the one who needed our services. And at the end of the class, I asked if there were any questions, and she said, yeah, what do you do when you're a kid and you need a wig? And I thought, well, don't you just go to a wig salon and buy one? Here I am in the industry and didn't really know myself. So I researched it and found out, unfortunately, there was no place for these kids to go. And I thought, well, I own a salon. I'm certified and accredited to work with adult patients. I love kids, so maybe we could help a few. Having no idea, Allison, that there are so many children that need our help. There's over 500 newly diagnosed cases of kids with cancer right here in Michigan every year.
That's just heartbreaking and also heartwarming that there is an organization such as this. So,
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. So you're a cosmetologist, and you just thought that and trying to help kids, that's where the vision came from. So how did it get started? Did you need help from people? I mean, this is a nonprofit organization, so just talk a little bit about that for a little bit.
Through the kindness and generosity of the people, all of those people that I had served for over 20 years found out that I was now helping children. And when we did our first fundraiser, it was $8 a plate, and we had 600 people lined around the building to come out and support the children, because I didn't have any money for something like that. And I thought, how am I going to make this happen? And so it was really been, and that's how we've sustained this program. Through businesses, churches, clubs, organizations, individuals who open their hearts and their wallets and donate, because insurance does not cover the cost of a prosthetic for a child, unfortunately.
Wow. So what are the steps? So if I wanted to donate my hair, what are the steps to donating your hair to a child with cancer?
Well, you have a couple of choices. We ask for 10 inches or more, but we will take 7, because 10% of our kids are boys, and some girls wear shorter hair. Like my own hair is shorter, you know. But 90% of our kids are girls, and they like longer hair. So that's why we ask for 10 inches. You can go to your local salon. You can get it cut. You just has to be clean, secure it in a ponytail or braid, and then they can mail it directly to Wigs for Kids, or we're located in St. Clair Shores. They can look us up on our website, www.wigs, with the number 4 kids. They can find out our address and mail it directly to us, or they can come and visit us, because we have a beautiful center, and they can take a tour, and they can actually see the magic that happens there between those walls. And we make it real simple. They go online, they fill out the hair donation form, and you know, we use that hair. We received over 14,000 hair donations last year from around the world, and most of them, of course, from the United States and Michigan. And our kids are very involved in our communities, because I'm out at a different school every week, and they grow their hair out, and I think it empowers them to become part of this solution instead of the problem, instead of bullying these kids and making fun of them.
With all the donations you receive, what percentage is usable, and do you sell or dispose of the hair?
You know, we are so fortunate, as I mentioned, to receive all of those donations, and because we service just children, we can only use virgin hair, because if it's color treated or chemically treated, it's been compromised, and the wigs don't hold up as well. So what we do is we pay it forward. You know, Pantene Great Lengths, they accept chemically treated hair. And there are other organizations like Locks of Love in Florida, they too. So if we can't use it for our child's wig, and it's tested when we send it to California to have it made, then it is forwarded on to other places so that not one strand of it is ever not used. And of course, we would never sell it.
Just piggybacking off that, do you find it that, I know a lot of people are attached to their hair. A lot of girls, you know, they have a hard time donating. So when you go to these schools, how do you present it in a way that you could be helping a child in need, a kid in need who doesn't have hair? I mean, how do you present that with, especially someone who is so attached? I mean, hair is like the bond. So
well, it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's our crown and glory. It really is. It's a very important part of who we are. And people don't think about that sometimes when you're an adult, but even my adult patients feel the same way that I had worked with all those years. They would go through these treatment plans and make it just fine. And when it came time for their hair falling out, it was devastating. So you can imagine as a child, you know, how hard it must be for them, because really as a kid, we've all been kids and we know you just want to fit in and have a sense of belonging. So when I go to the schools, I think education is power. And when they understand the difference that it makes and the impact that it has on these children, how, you know, they don't have to isolate, they don't have to withdraw, they can still be a part of and look and feel normal and go out into society, then the kids rally behind them. And it helps with their healing process. You can imagine the difference it makes in their self-esteem.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I could only imagine. So moving on, so for 2016, it seems like you had a great year. I was looking through the packet that you gave me. So can you just talk a little bit about the accomplishments that your organization made in 2016?
Well, most importantly, that we have serviced over 3,000 children since I started this organization. And people will ask me, well, how many children are in your program? And we currently have between 250 and 350 kids in our program at all times. Because when you're an adult, you know, your hair falls out and grows back, you're looking at a year, but for a child, you're looking at a minimum of 3 to 5 years. And their little head size changes, so they get a new wig every year. So they're in our program for several years. So we always have quite a few children in our program. Some age out, but if they still have cancer and they've not been able to work and not able to afford a wig, we still allow them to stay in our program and provide the services for them at no charge. But when I started it, it was really about putting wigs on their heads, and then we grew the program to expand our services, which we offer and have for several years now, since 2010. We help them psychologically, socially, and emotionally heal. All of our people that work with our children are all licensed professionals, yet they volunteer their services. So we have group therapy, individual counseling, grief and loss counseling for the families who lose their loved one. And we have classes and field trips and, you know, art therapy and music therapy. And the kids come there and they just have a good time. They're with other children. We had a class the other night called Lips and Lips and Brows. And because they lose their eyebrows, you know. And we didn't even have standing room. It was just jam full because they just want to look like other kids. And they don't know what to do when that happens. So it's a great program, and thanks to all the people who continue to support us and allow us to help these children. I have a wonderful team who are dedicated and committed and give 110% because they know the difference that we're making in the lives of these children and the families, not just the children. There are children that come to us that don't necessarily even get a wig, but will come there for support services or classes or just to be with other children someplace rather than a hospital setting. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in awe of the organization, what you're doing, your staff, and how you're helping these kids. I don't know, it's amazing. It's amazing to see and to know that this is going on, and it keeps growing.
It's grown tremendously. As you said, we have over 500 salons and cosmetology schools now that collect hair and send it to us. And as I told you, the program continues to grow because more children are aware of us, thanks to people like you who bring us on and help us with community outreach, because there's no budget when you're a nonprofit. You don't spend money for marketing. And so this, we will reach, somebody will hear or see this program, and there will be a child out there or a family who will be in need of our services. And if there are, I always tell them, please call us. You know, we qualify no one, we help everyone, and there's no waiting. They can go online, fill out a 2-page application, submit it. I can get them in the next day.
That's amazing. And it's such an easy process, especially when you're going through so much. It's like, oh, do I have to fill out more paperwork? And it's just, it's exhausting. And so knowing that it's an easy process and it's quick.
It is.
That probably takes a lot of stress off of the families and the children and all of that. But so for 2017, what does Wigs for Kids have in store for us?
Well, we have outgrown our current facility. That happened a couple of years ago, but we've been making it work. And as I said about the class the other night, so we have been looking for, we were in the silent phase of our capital campaign, we've been looking for property and or a building where we could continue to grow our program and service the children all throughout Michigan, because we only service children of Michigan. So if you donate your hair, it's walking around on some kid's head right here in our communities, you know. So our capital campaign is going on, and we are trying to raise funds to secure our own brick and mortar. We are currently in a strip area, but it's beautiful, and when you come inside there, it's warm and welcoming, and the kids come in and they just think they own it, because they do. It's very kid-friendly. And so we do need our own facility, and that's really our focus this year. Besides, of course, our core mission is always servicing the children, but we're growing, so we need more space, and we will continue to grow. And the second thing that's on our agenda for the year, as we started this, I had the honor and privilege of presenting in Lansing last year and submitting with Representative Roberts at the time and Senator Bida. We presented and introduced a bill, and it was accepted bipartisan support, and it went into insurance committee, and it kind of got locked up. And so it didn't get passed yet. So this year we had to start it over again, get the process going, and they're all on board, and so we got that in place. So if people, you don't have to be voting age. Just go on to Wigs for Kids and go on to Kids Should Be Covered, and just, you know, vote that yes, it's necessary. This program is very necessary, because insurance does not pay for this, but in 13 other states, it's mandated that insurance pays for the cost of a wig for a child, because, you know, it's like any other prosthetic. People think it's all about beauty. It's not. It's so important to them. That's just one part of it, a small part of it. And if they had to pay for something like this, if they could get them, which they can't because they have to be custom made, they would be a minimum of $2,500 each. We charge nothing. All the services, return visits, you know, they come in and it's homecoming, we do their hair and their makeup, there's no charge, you know, and or, you know, their first communion or graduation pictures or whatever they need from us. You know, we provide all services at no charge, including the classes and events.
Wow. It's just so exciting and so inspiring to hear that there's so many moves that are happening already and that are going to be happening for 2017. So, and it's also really cool that you don't have to be voting age to go and vote on your website, which
so
is
you
a lot
and your
of people
whole
may
family.
not know. Yeah, the whole family
the whole
can.
Family can vote.
So that is great to hear. No, I'm just really glad that we got to have this conversation, and I personally got to know more about the organization, and I've actually been contemplating on donating my hair, but it's never been long enough, and I haven't cut it since last October.
Okay.
So October 2000, it was almost 2 years to October 2015, so.
Well, when you're ready, you know what to do.
Yeah, now I know what to do.
And inside of Wigs for Kids, we have a salon called Go Green Salon.
Okay.
And they can come there and get it done right there. And we do charge for the cut, and 50% of it pays the stylist, so that money doesn't come out of the program to pay, you know, a stylist. The other 50% actually goes with the hair to help pay to have it made into a wig, because we still have to pay to have that beautiful hair that's donated made into a wig. Yeah. So they have that choice too. And every child that walks through the door gets a gift and a juice box and a cookie, and you know, we make sure that it's a fun pleasant experience. And they look at our little lookbook. They see the before and afters. They see the difference that it makes just by the faces of these children. So and I'm amazed because when I was young, I didn't even know about cancer. But today, unfortunately, most of us have had some experience directly or indirectly. And it's not just children with cancer. Although 65% of our kids have cancer, we help burn survivors, children with alopecia, lupus, blood disorders. So trichotillomania, the obsessive compulsive disorder where they pull their hair out. So there are many reasons why kids lose their hair. And they can come there and they're just like one of us. Everybody is, you know, they're comfortable in their own skin. They can take their wig off, they can wear it or not. And you know, a lady asked me the other day, she said, do the kids always have to have a wig? I said, no, the kids need to feel comfortable in their own skin. And now they have a choice. Before they didn't, before Wigs for Kids.
Well, I don't think there can be anything better than that. Just feeling comfortable in your own skin, whether cancer or one of the other diseases that you said. It's nice to have a safe haven to come.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Yes,
and that you are making that possible, and that
we are all making that possible.
And donors are making it possible. So the next, last question before we wrap up is, how can people donate? How can people help? Is there a link on your website?
There is, and I always say you can donate your time, your talent, or your treasure, meaning your money. So you don't have to necessarily live in the area. I just met with 50 executives, and they were saying that they get 2 days a year that they get paid for to go volunteer. So come on down to Wigs for Kids and volunteer and get paid for it at the same time, through your company. Or we have this weekend, we have Brownie troops coming in and Girl Scout troops, and they come in and they make cards for our kids who are in the hospital who can't have guests to decorate their room, or our kids who are home and shut in and not able to be around people to brighten their day. So I say, if you're breathing, I can find a job for you. There's always something to do, and many hands make less work for all of us. So we appreciate your volunteering. Grow out your hair. Most importantly, if you ever know of a kid, let them know about us. We try to reach out to everyone through people like you who help us. Just think of the group in the community and the numbers that we will reach just because of your kindness today. So thank you.
No, well, thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
What you're doing is amazing, and then, like you said, there's always a way to help. Always.
This is one of them.
This is one of
them. And people say, well, I don't have money. That's okay. You can grow your hair. My hair won't grow. Well, then you can say a prayer for these kids.
Yep.
We can all do something. Together we can make a difference, and we do.
Well, that's all the time we have. I just want to give a big thanks to Maggie Varney from Wigs for Kids for being here. And I just want to thank you all, to all the viewers who listened, and we'll see you next time on the Orion Outreach Show.